Hey everybody. I need to start this off. I've got first of all, I'm good. Okay, I'm okay. Um, but I've got to make this video, and it's not one that I want to make. I wished I didn't do the thing I did. That's causing me to feel the need to make this video, but I did, and it's really important for me to be honest and give you guys uh, a real picture of who I am than to do it. As much as I would like to always look good and ride unicorns over rainbows and stuff, like that's not the way it works. And yeah, I'm a Christian, and yeah, I've got a really awesome sponsor, and yeah, I've done some steps, and yeah, I've got a year clean, but that doesn't mean that I don't make mistakes, that I don't do stupid shit. And this morning I did something really kind of cruddy, and I need to tell you about it. I need to be real about it. So I'll give you a little backstory. This video may be a little longer than normal, but let me give you a little backstory. So as I was passing through Caratunk and stayed at the Sterling Inn, Bill and Sue Dunnigan that run that place are Christian ministers, and I was seeking some advice about my walk with Christ, and since I got clean a year ago, I started reading the Bible every day. That's something that I did, and I when I got to Caratunk, I think I was at Mark. I was in the Gospels, and I asked Bill for some direction, and what he told me to do, he said, as you read the Gospels, imagine that you're one of Jesus' disciples, and pay attention to what it is he's teaching them. What is it that he's teaching me as a follower of Christ? And last night, as I was reading, it was in John about the light and the dark, and the lovers of the light and the lovers of the dark, and the truth. And so that really spoke to me, and here's how it's playing out today. The lesson I'm learning. So like a piece of shit, what I did, I had a bunch of stuff in my pack that I didn't need. Some shoes that blew out, an extra shirt, an extra pair of underwear, an extra pair of socks, and a few other things, probably 2 or 3 pounds of stuff. And I put it in a bag, and I left it at camp and headed off up the trail. And it started to really bother me. I'd been hiking for about an hour, so a little over a mile, and it was just eating me alive, and I know it may seem like a small thing to some, but to me it's big, and that's just not what you do out here. That's not cool, right, at all. Somebody has to pack that stuff out, or an animal gets into it and it causes problems. It's really messed up. And I know better. That's the thing. I knew better. I knew what I was doing when I did it. And, fortunately, I serve this really loving God that's pretty gentle with me when he corrects me. And I've got conviction of the Holy Spirit in my heart. I learned that when I was in jail a year ago. I knew when I was doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing. I learned what that was. I knew what that felt like. And that was something else Bill told me. I said, how do I know if I'm doing God's will? And he said, well, you certainly know when you're not, and that was the feeling. I was very convicted that what I did was wrong, and I had to make it right. But see, so I've got this rule that, like, we don't go backwards out here. Like don't look back, don't walk back, don't go back. But it was wrong, and I was trying to justify it. I was like, well, maybe somebody will need some of that stuff, or and even more scuddy, like maybe nobody will notice. And it was fear, you know, it was fear. I've got to hike this hike and I got to carry this stuff. And I just let fear kind of take over this morning for some reason. And, you know, here's the thing about being a Christian and really trying to walk this walk and about being in recovery and learning the importance of integrity, right? Like, you know that it's never too late to do the right thing, and you have these lived experiences that suggest that if you do it, even if it costs you something, it's gonna be worth it to you in the long run. And you know, integrity is huge. Like it's little things like that. Like if I don't take care of that stuff, it grows. It becomes something I've given my permission to be, and it's not esteemable stuff. You know, if I want to have self-esteem, I've got to do things that are esteemable. I've got to do things that I can respect myself for. And my buddy Danny Hutchins from the house, you know, he says integrity's telling somebody something they don't want to hear, but that they need to hear. And today that somebody was me. You know, I had to tell myself something I didn't want to hear, but that I needed to hear. Thank you for that, Danny. Uh, and so what I did is I set my pack down and I turned around and had to hike back down this mountain, back to the campsite, you know, and get a couple hours and a couple miles behind, and pick up a couple extra pounds that I'm going to have to carry for the rest of the next day or two. And, on my way back, I fell and I busted my knee. So, you know, in a way, I paid for it. And, you know, it's easy to get caught up in what people think of you, too. And there were people at the campsite and they had found it and I passed them on the trail. And it felt good to be able to tell them, like, I was going back to get that because they knew it was mine. You know, there wasn't any, like, whatever. And you know, think of the impression, because I talked to them about being in recovery. Think of the impression that I've given them if that's what I'm all about, you know. And yes, there is still that part of me that, despite my recovery and despite being a follower of Christ, like I still worry. I still have I'm still a human being, right? I still worry about what people will think of me and the impression I make. But I also have a responsibility to carry a message and not a mess. And so, you know, I got to accomplish, by doing the right thing, I got to accomplish that. I got to clean up my mess. And it would have been really tempting to be like, because they were like, oh, you just forgot. And it would have been really tempting to just roll with that and be like, yeah, you know, I did forget. Yeah, I need that stuff. But I didn't. You know, I did the hard thing. I chose to be a lover of the light and to bear to the light my mistakes. And I said, you know what? I didn't forget that stuff. I left it, and it bothered me, and I couldn't continue to leave it. And so I'm going back to get it. And you know, I at first, for a minute, I did care, like, what they thought of me. Now I don't. You know, I know that's none of my business. I've got enough recovery in me to realize that that's none of my business, and it's not about me. What people think about me, that's up to them. But it is my business to take responsibility for my own actions, to clean up my messes. And thankfully, I've got a God that gives me the confidence to pursue the truth. I don't have to hide who I am. I don't have to hide what I'm doing or what I've done. And that's part of what this video is about. It's me being honest, even though it's uncomfortable. You know, it's doing the right thing, even when it's not comfortable. And I'm proud of myself for that. So, you know, I didn't want to have to make this video, but I'm really glad I did. And guys, I love you all, and thank you for believing in me and giving me the chance to become the kind of man that I can respect, that my daughter can respect, that these people on the trail can respect. You know, I get a chance, because I'm clean today, to be the kind of man that I want to be. And so what happens as a result is the man that I am tomorrow is going to thank the man I was today. You know, I may have to carry those few extra things, but I don't have to carry my mistake for the next 1,900 miles. Like, I'm free. The truth has made me free. So, what a life. Guys, I love you. Again, thank you for believing in me. Thank you for supporting me. Take what you can from that, and know that you're loved beyond measure, and you're blessed, and you're important, and you're special, and the world needs you, and I need you. I need examples. I need the people that came before me, and I hope to be that for somebody else. So anyway, that's my update for the day. Let me put these extra pounds on this pack and walk these extra miles, and rock on into Bethel, my next town. I'll be working at a farm there for a few days, and I'll be back on trail. But I'll give you an update when I get off. I'll let you know how this all turned out. I got great weather. I've got a good attitude, good morale. The water's good. Food's good. Don't know's good. So that's it. TREEHAB 2026, baby. Let's go, heartbeat! Woo!